Hello, welcome to another live stream, a Sunday night live stream. It's 7 p.m. where I'm at. I don't know where it's at with you, but the Cowboys are playing, and I wanted to finish the game. Still, another sad display from the Cowboys. I'm very sad about that. But today we're going to be doing Essix, and we're going to go from the beginning to the end. So I think in the description below, I kind of put the steps I want to go. And it's going to be, one, do the digital, import the model. I'll explain that. Then we're going to base it, and I'll have two different options of that. Then we're going to send it to the printer. And then it's almost like one of those baking shows where you're going to have different stages that are already set up. So we're not going to follow this same case all the way through. So you'll see some cases that are different every time. But we will attempt to do this. This is going to be kind of a difficult one. But, oh, hey, greetings from Tennessee. Hello, Mr. Martinez. Beckett. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Beckett, who is chatting in the chat with me, my son Beckett, he's going to help me today. Because this is kind of going to be a little complicated setup because I got him in there, and then we're going to switch in the middle, and then we're going to come back here and finish, and he's going to man the camera at one point. So we're going to see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work. But again, this is the Essix retainer, start to finish. Now, the next time you see me, I'm going to do my little intro. And the next time you see me, I'm going to be in the digital room, and we're going to attempt. I've been having some major issues with internet. So I'm going to attempt the internet in there, but we're going to base a model in there and send it to the printer, and we'll see how that goes. But let me hit my intro, and I will see you back after that. Hello. Oh, I don't need this. I can hear myself. I don't like that. So let's do this. Okay, so obviously I'm using my webcam. It's not very good, but let's add this to the stage. I'm gonna see if I can. Becky, you can sit in the chair. I can't see you. No, I can't see you. Never mind. Becky, okay, I think I gotta keep you on there, or else they can't hear me. So. All right, so I have this fake Essix case here, and I've uploaded a scan, and I uploaded this one called Max. Let me see if I can zoom this in for you guys. There we go. And we have this maxillary original, and once I upload it, Easyrx. So this is Easyrx, if you don't know. That I'm using here, and I like to use the Autobase feature of Easyrx, and I'm going to show you how to base this in Easyrx because it's all one package, and that's what I like to do. So I'm going to click on this Easyrx Optimize. So you can see here, it's the original. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. Nope. But you can see when I underline it. Beckett, what are you doing? Are you trying to cover the camera? Yes. Switch it to aux, and then that way they can't see you. All right, so this original one is what I uploaded. The one above it's called Easyrx. That is optimized for Easyrx. Sorry. Easyrx automatically optimizes, so it finds little holes and it patches them and it smooths it and stuff like that. So that's the one I'm going to use to base this. So I just stopped sharing that. So let's try this again. Share screen. And if y'all are having some internet issues, or if I'm having internet issues, it's not a big deal. I do have this recording at the source, so we will get a good recording of this and re-upload later on. So when you click on this here, this Easyrx, it opens up a new window. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, When you click on this right here, this Easyrx optimized one that I use for basing, it opens up a new window which looks like this, and I'm going to click edit. I don't know how fast this is going to be, how good this is going to be, but we're going to try it anyway. Okay, so we have the cool thing about Easyrx. This is all done in the web browser, and that's one of the reasons I do have a hard time with this is web-based. So I'm going to go down this right column here, and I'm going to start at the top, and so we need to orient the model, so we need to click on the left molar, and then between the interiors, and then the right molar. And so that makes like this green triangle, and Easyrx figures out, hey, this is the occlusal surface, this is the front, this is the back. You're kind of telling Easyrx how this is done. I like using this Easy Base option. So then it gives you this cutting plane, and you can just pull it down just like this. And I like to just keep it right above the gum line there. And so that'll make me a nice horseshoe. I'm not going to worry about a cutting plane back here. There's not much to cut off. But I always do hollow. And when it's a horseshoe, I like to add just a little bit of base height, just to give it a little bit of space, so we can cut the Essix, and we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm going to add drain holes, and we're going to add base. Oh, my neighbors are jumped on their motorcycles. That's wonderful. Yeah, I can probably hear that. But the bad thing about being this late is y'all won't hear Pete crow because they're already roosting. They've already been fed. So again, this is all dependent on your internet speed. If you got really good internet, this will go pretty quick, and it will not take long at all. Now, one thing I do want to show you while it's doing that is I did send this to Autobase. So this third row down here, show this tab, this one down here, automatic base, I sent this to Autobase just to show you that Easyrx also does Autobase, so you don't have to spend time in waiting for this if you don't have the time to do it. It is an extra fee. I forget what it is. You'll have to contact them. But it's found right here on 3D Command Center. If you click on that, you'll get an option here. It doesn't say it anymore, but it'll say request, and you click on that and you'll get a little box that says Autobase, and it also has auto bracket removal, which is pretty cool. Let me go back. And so then you can just auto-base it. So my wife does this whenever she checks in cases, and she will auto-base some of these models, so I don't have to do it by manual. Or my son Beckett doesn't have to. Okay, so it's done. Now it's actually made a solid model because I made it 3 millimeters. You can't see this. It's made it 3 millimeters thick on both sides, so it's actually went ahead and filled it in. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to actually make the wall thickness 2.5, and we'll do add base. So let's take a look at this one. This is the Autobase, so I'm going to view. So this is been auto-based by Easyrx. I didn't have to base it at all. I didn't have to do the orientation. I didn't have to add a base. It did it automatically, and it does a really good job. So I'll probably end up printing this one because I like it, and it automatically adds the name. So I made up this name, Cater, compared to, see, this one's still going. So you get a good idea of, while we wait on this, let's ask, here's a question. Perry, I have a question. When you get to the 3D printer, do you ever have any problems with lines in the print layers? Yes, I've been having a lot of problems with that lately. And I think it's my print tank. I think I need to replace it. It's starting to get to the end of its life. And then I also ran a scraper through it. I'll show you when I get to that. I also ran a scraper through it, and it, not a scraper, spatula thing, and I found some pieces that are on that were stuck to the print bed. Yeah, so yeah, I've been getting some lines in it pretty much a lot lately, and that's telling me I need to replace my print bed, and I'll try to show you that when I get to that, if Beckett can see that. What are you doing over there, Beckett? All right, so this is almost done. Let's go back to here. Yeah, good question. I've been having that issue also, Perry. So here is the finished. So this is, the walls are 2.5. So I thinned the walls, which is perfectly fine for an Essix. Usually I want the 3mm walls whenever I do a Holly or something that I'm a little bit more rough with. This is just thermoforming on top. It's more than enough to do that. So there is this finished one. So this is the one I did, and this is the Easyrx Autobase, the AI version. So I kind of like that one. So I think I'm going to print this one. I think it turned out better than the one I did. So to do this, I'm going to go back to the prescription. If I refresh the page, it should now add in that one I just did. Oh, I never did save it. Oh, I need to label it. Okay, hold on. So this is how you would label this. I usually go over here. I'd put the bin number. Let's engrave it and position the first label. And we're going to do auto. Let's do this again. Position the first label, and we're going to add the label. Now, the great thing that this is Easyrx is it's pulling the name, the bin number, and everything from the file over here. So it's all integrated together. So you can put all this info, the practice name, the ID, the patient's initials, the Easyrx ID, the patient name. You can just check these boxes, or you can just put in a custom text if you want. So let's add this label. Yeah, Perry, it's funny you asked that question, because just this past week I've been having the lines are showing up pretty, and it's like the last 100 or so, like the first 100 layers are good, and then the last 100 are not so good. So this is 402K dirt, and we'll save it. And in that box, you could actually change the name to whatever one you want to do, whatever, what I want to say, whatever naming system, numbering system that you have. You can put it in that box right there. But since this is connected with Easyrx, it will. Oh, I got some prints curing. It's part of my bake show. So this is saved to the patient file. So now if I go here and refresh the prescription, search this tab. So I've refreshed it. So there it is. So that's another benefit of it being connected all together, is once you save it there, it saves it back into the folder. You don't have to like re-upload and re-download and save it to this file and move it over here, that kind of thing. So let's send this to the printer. So I'm just going to send it to print one of these. I'm going to go here and let's print the automatic base one. That's the one I liked. So I'm going to click this right here. And I don't know how long this may take. I don't know how long this will take. We'll see. Okay, it's already launched it. Let me see if I can share that. Share screen. So it's opening up Preform now. Window, and it hasn't launched it yet. There we go. And share. Nope. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. Let's try this again. Window. Oh, that's what it is. You ever almost click on something and then it shifts over right before you click it. That's what happened just then. It makes me so mad when that happens. So you should be seeing, or maybe not. Let me make sure you're seeing this. Hold on a second. There we go now. Add to stage. Okay, let's go full-blown this. All right, let's go back to preform. So what this did was this took that file out of Easyrx, which is in a web browser, downloaded it to the RAM of the computer, opened up preform, and dumped this in there. Now, you can do this with as many models as you want, however your print does. There's another thing in Easyrx. It's called print STL file, and you click on it, and you click on all the models you want to send to the printer, and you click send to the printer. So before I do anything, I'm going to choose the printer and show all, and this is the name of my printer. It's got the draft already in there. I'm going to double check. Now this is the layers. Now, Perry, you were talking about this is 0.2 millimeters. I don't ever print, and I always print 0.1, and that's usually good enough. But it looks like I've been printing 0.2 lately, but I got to make sure it's 0.1. And then I'm going to actually, so yeah, we're using default settings. There is a fast arch setting, but that is for a different resin, I believe. So I'll have to, not solid, valid, is valid for solid orthodontic models oriented flat on the build platform without support. So maybe it's worth printing these horseshoes solid now, which it could be. So I'm going to click this over here because I am building this on a build platform too, and I will show that off in a second. And then now I'm going to click apply. So this should update over here in the upper right corner. This thing has updated since I last did one of these. So I'm going to move this kind of to the middle. Now you can see this is teeth down. I do not want that. So I'm going to go over here to orient, and then select base and select that as the base, and it's going to flip it over. And done. And so then I do a little supports. It probably doesn't need much, but I'll just do some. It probably doesn't need any actually. I don't see any red. Usually if you see a lot of red, you see a little bit there underneath. But those all go away. Just a few supports here and there. Not bad. Is Beckett talking to me? I don't know. Okay. So this is now ready to print. So let's send it over to the printer by clicking this. Print now. Is it ready to go? Slicing the scene. I don't know what that means. You know, Perry, I think I just saw something. What you said. I went back to my old setting for resin. It seems okay there. Really? It could be the update then. You have to tell me, are you using the default, right? I just thought my thing is getting worn out. But, all right, let's go back to this here. Hey, Beckett, can you press camera 4? Yep, that's it. And then come do this camera. Oh, wait, do micro. It's hard to explain. I got to take that picture-in-picture off. It's bugging me. There we go. All right, now come do this camera for me. He's going underneath it.
No, I'm not.
So this is my little 3D printing area. I've already uploaded to this. It's already started actually. So I've already got a build platform in there with my resin tray. Perry, I can't get to the menu yet until it starts printing, and then I can show you that. But I do have one here that's ready. So going on to the next step of this, so you've done the digital part of it, you've imported the model, the scan, you've put a base on it, and you send it to the printer, it's done printing. I have a side over here that is draining, so I'm going to actually take this off the model. Not take this off the model. Take these models off. Now these aren't at all Essix that are on here. So I have it in here. And Beckett, I don't know if you can zoom. I'm actually using this as my drain, and I don't think you can see in there. The lighting is terrible in here now that the light's going out in the back. But all this resin in here is actually what I have drained off of these models here. This is my build platform 2, and it's got these wings on here that I'm going to do like this to, and it's going to pop these models off, and now I got to go find them. Hold on. Don't film this part, Beckett. That happened a little easier than I thought. Let me get my paper towel. All right, now Beckett, you can zoom into here. I'm going to drain these just a little bit more. So I have this draining like this. There's always a drain hole in the front or the interior of each of these, and it all drains back in there. And then I'll take that resin, I'll pour it back in the other printer. So that Form 2 is my backup printer in case that goes down. Or if I get really bogged down with models, I'll get them both printing. But usually one Form 3 can handle my workload of like printing like 12 models a day or so. So then I scrape this off. Beckett, did you catch any of the models coming off of this?
Yeah.
I did it real quick without even thinking.
What?
Like when I did this.
A little.
A little bit?
Yeah.
The lighting's terrible from what I can tell.
I mean, you can still see stuff.
Okay, all right. So then I put a little alcohol in here, and I take a paper towel, and I'm mainly just, it doesn't matter if there's really resin on there, but I don't want any cured resin on here, so I'm just checking to make sure there's no cured resin, and just kind of wipe off any excess. And so while I'm doing all this, those are draining on the paper towel. There we go. I'll put this back in here. And so, hey, this is ready for printing next. But I ended up getting build two platforms. And that way I could, once one is done printing, I pull it out and I put the fresh one in, start the next print, set that one to drain, come back 10 or 15 minutes, and come do this. This is also something that Beckett does. So this is my wash tank. And we're going to open. And I'm going to move this around on the table. This towel does these paper towels do a pretty good job of taking that last little bit of resin, draining out of the bottom. Now, if they're solid, you don't have to worry about the draining. Maybe a little bit, but even if you tilt it, it helps because all the surface resin that's on the front of the teeth will go down. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in here. This does have the feature of you can put the build platform, you can slide it in this rack here and wash it before you take it off. But I feel like it gets more resin inside of the tank. And the less resin that goes in there, the longer my isopropyl alcohol will last. So we're going to start this, and it's going to start the washing process. Okay, let me clean up my mess. So that was step 2 of the baking process, or the making process, I guess. So we got the print going. We've run a print into the wash. Once the wash is done, it's going to come out and the drying process will start. And I will actually put it up here on this rack, and I have a fan that blows on it and it helps to dry it before I cure it. So next is this. This is my curing unit. And so I have some that are in here that have already cured. And they're nice and toasty. Actually, they just got done not long before this. So then I'll just take my pans here. And this is where the numbering, the naming system comes in handy. So I just look. $204. Mainly I just look at the number, so I don't have to try to read the name. There we go. And I think this one goes with that one. Yep. And nope. Oh, over here. Okay. And 107. Nope. Yeah, 107. And that's got to be that because it's missing these teeth here. So those are there. And what I do is I take these and I take them into here. But Becky, you don't have to follow me unless you can see me. You can see me? All right. This is where I put them, and then my wife puts them on the shelf. So she'll go in here and go, that's for Monday, that's for Tuesday, that's for Wednesday. So that's it for in there. So let's, you can sit there, Beckett, now, and I'll sit over here. You taped a receipt to the... He taped a receipt to the... What is this? The post office receipt you put in there. Oh. James Pelzel? What's up, man? Oh, my college roommate just joined me on the stream. Oh, good to see you on here. Cotton! Is that Beckett's head? Perry, does your alcohol ever turn milky? Does your alcohol turn white milky over time? Yeah, if it gets white and milky, that's when it's too late. Now, that's what's weird is I'll pour it into a tub, and the tub goes outside in the sun and cures, and it instantly turns milky. So it's almost like you're it's almost like yours is curing while it's in the cure unit. Your alcohol, if it milky. Yeah, it's definitely over time. I usually can go like 60 to 80 washes, and I like that it has a count now. And whenever I put fresh one in, I reset the counter. So, so now we're at the second stage, which is prepping the model. I don't have a model. Let's see. Let's move this. No, this. All right. Now, what I have found is I found a bag, and it says on here, lost by UPS, then found. There's a label I have on here. And it's just a bunch of models of Essix that I made for a doctor back in the day. Probably a year or two ago. This has been up on my shelf for a while. And I went ahead and reprinted everything. So it was lost by UPS. And the doctor's office was like, Kate, it's been lost. Can you redo them? I was like, yep. So that's the great thing about 3D printing is you can just reprint the models and do it again. And so I think I have a couple in here that are probably pretty good. Here's a good one. There's a lower. And look, I've already waxed them and painted them, so you can see that they're shiny. So they're nice and painted and waxed already. But I reprinted these, and then the doctor called and prepped them, was about to do the suck downs, and the doctor called and said, oh, UPS just delivered it. And I was like, oh, geez, okay. All right, I'll just keep these for practice. And it's coming in handy today. So let's do a couple of these. So this stuff here, if you can zoom in, yeah, this is sticky wax. I was using sticky wax at that time as my blockout wax because it's a little bit more high temperature than my pink wax. Now I got some of the sample stuff from Glidewell Direct, and it's even higher temp wax, and I really like it, but I'm running out. So we're gonna stick with the sticky wax, and I don't need to wax these. I've already waxed them. So this just needs one more separator because the Essix material I'm using is Keystone brand, and it doesn't have a film on there that you can just peel off. You can just do the suck down with the film. You can do things like that. Okay, so my bottle's empty. So y'all get to watch as I refill this. So this is the stuff I use. And it's acrylic to acrylic separator. It's really not for 3D printed models. But since 3D printed models are pretty much acrylic methyl methacrylate based anyway, it will work. There we go. So I like having this little squeeze bottle. I guess I could use this one. See, I'm running out. I need to get more. Oh, I do have more. I have a whole nother one. So I'm painting it because there's wax on here, and if I don't paint it, then the wax will transfer to the suck down, and you'll get something like this. See this cloudy? I didn't paint these. And you see this cloudy mess, how cloudy it is. I redid these because I didn't like how they turned out. So I'm gonna paint these and let them dry, and we'll go and set up I'll usually do 2 coats. It looks like there's already 1 coat on here, so I'll just keep that. We'll just keep it at 1 coat. I got a little fan up here that I'm going to put this on. And do that. So now, while that's drying, we're going to go set up this. So here is my Biostar. This is made in 1987, still working to this day. Next to it, covered in a black cloth, is an Ercoform. I love using that because you can set it and forget it. Just go. The Biostar just does such a better job of. Oh, cotton weary. Oh yeah, because I need to shave, I guess. Don't I? So yeah, cotton from the movie Scream. If y'all don't know, that is Liev Schreiber. So I have been known to look like Liev Schreiber, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, he's thrown back from back in the day. James, it's good to see you on here. That's fun. And I think I just saw your son score a couple touchdowns or something on Facebook. That's awesome. I think that was your son. That was cool. So let's go back to here while these are drying off. And so in this cooler right here, I have, this is the Keystone clear splint material, just basic splint material. It's a really good price, really good material. I go back and forth. I really like this GT Flex Pro. Those are really good for aligners. But on here I put air bubbles because somewhere along the way these look like they have the same blue film, but you can see they're on there really good. whereas this is just more of a protective film. This one you would not remove until after you've trimmed it, and that keeps your aligner, your retainer nice and clean. And then this one, you actually peel it off beforehand. So I'm going to go ahead and load this up, and I just do a simple little scrape. And of course you want to keep it nice and clean. I'm going to...
Wait, Dad,
Yes?
for a second.
Huh?
The video,
Yeah?
like it isn't coming here.
Is it frozen?
Yeah.
It's frozen again?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. All right, I know what happens. Let me switch over. Okay, okay, okay. Close all, NDI, and nope. Well, I don't know. That is not going to be fun to deal with. Okay. And NDX camera. Unfortunately, this thing pauses out on me. There we go. Okay, I think we're back. All right, yeah. See, Beckett, that's why you're here, to let me know. I would have just kept going, not knowing that was frozen. But I'm going to grab my first model, and since we've done a horseshoe base on it, I'm going to put it right there. Now, this does have the beads, so if you do have a big fat stone model, you can bury it in the beads to just where the horseshoe part is above it. Otherwise, you do have this metal disc. It's breathable. You can pass air through this thing. And so that's how air will be pressed down and out the bottom. So this is positive pressure. Let's see. I have my air on. Here it's saying 4 bars of pressure, which is perfect. I did have to put a little shim right here just to keep this level. There's a screw in here I need to replace. It fell out, that adjusts this level. Oh, there goes my neighbor. If I open this window, you can probably see him go by. So this is, I don't know if you can see that. This is the heating source. I've already had it turned on down here. It's already up to temperature, and then I'm going to, this old one, you have to let this thing heat up for like 5 minutes. The newer Biostars, you swing it over and it heats up instantly. So I also have this timer here that I just magnetized to the front of here. And I already have it set for 35 seconds. I'm going to swing this over, set the timer. So you can see, let me move this so you can see better. Oh. We'll just throw it on the ground. That's what we'll do. So 13, 12, 11. On the next one, I'm going to get in here really close with the camera. Actually, I'm going to have Beckett come in here. Flip it over. Oh. I'm going to let this cool for, oh, there it goes. Let that cool for another 30 seconds. And this is what we just did. So let me get another. And then it does have a little release valve here. I can turn this and it will release the air. So the air is coming in this little spout. It's coming up and into this pressure chamber. And then if you do this, then the air flows across. It'll cool down your model faster. Now, what I usually do is just let it go another 35 seconds for cool. And then I open that, it depressurizes it. I slide that to the left, flip this over, flip the ring back to here, And then this is my final suck. See how well adapted this is. So let's do the lower. Beckett, come in here and be my cameraman. If it's shaky, it's his fault now.
What?
So keep an eye on the screen, make sure it doesn't freeze again.
Okay.
So while you're doing this. All right, so I'm going to get my bag of things. I think this is a bag of 50, and I think I paid $30 for it. And there we go. Take the plastic off. Take the plastic off. And then I'm going to put that in there between these 4 posts here. And then I'm going to do that. And we will shim this. This is only for this unit. And then we will melt this. Beckett, see if you can get... Did it freeze again?
Yay.
Oh, it's... Yeah, there we go. So we will get, you can see in here, just get that reflection. You can see it melting in there. And then whenever I flip this, I want you to look in the top. People like to get that top-down view. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to flip it, and I look through this window here. And then you keep breaking it.
Yeah, see, the eyes change.
Yeah, it keeps, look at that. So let's switch cameras before it makes everybody sick over there. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. My NDI camera is not doing so well. Okay. I have them here now. Yeah, we'll be done with that camera. These ones do better. Can you hand me a set of scissors? Hopefully Sybil did not take them.
Yeah, hold on.
So I'm actually going to trim these here instead of my box. I can't get a camera, a good enough camera over there to show this. So I'm going to trim it here, which is going to produce a lot of dust and stuff, unfortunately. Let me grab a... thank you. Grab a mask. Yeah, here you go. So if my voice is muffled, I apologize. Yep, here we go. I don't like breathing this stuff in. First thing we're going to do is I just like to use some scissors and cut this. And that just helps me get the burr in closer. I don't have to deal with that big flap in the way. So my very first burr I'm going to use is called a wheel saw. I don't know if you can see those teeth or not. Let's zoom in a bit. This is my favorite. It looks like a little circular saw blade. And I do my very first pass. And I just go right above the gum line. I don't necessarily do much scalloping. But you can see how I'm holding this burr. If this flap of material is still there, it would be in the way. But you can always do it from this side. So I'm getting really close, and this is where I add that 2 millimeters of model or base to this, so that I can I have enough room to pass my wheel through there. There are so many different ways. In the comments, whether you're watching the live stream or the recording, let me know which way you do it. Some people, they do this all with scissors. So they'll go ahead and just pop it off at this point before they grind on it, and then they'll just cut it all out with scissors. But my hand always cramps up when I use scissors. There we go. I'm going to go this way. This is another reason I like this little tiny wheel saw. Is there we go. So I'll get rid of this part. I'll tell you in a minute why I like this wheel saw. Okay, it's because it gets in here easy. Now if I was using something like this, a big one, I couldn't as easily get in here. It won't fit. Same thing with this. It won't fit as well. So if I'm doing 2, I'll go ahead and just keep the same burr on, and I'll just work my way around this one. You can see where I was hitting here. The one thing about this wheel seal, it's tiny, so you got to get in close with your handpiece. Just working my way. I'm about I try to stay like 1 millimeter away from the gum line. So I try to keep as much plastic on the actual tooth enamel as possible. This is a little hard because there's some gum recession. All right. So now once I've completed my circle all the way around, I'll do a little cut here. And then let's see if I can peel this in one unit. Nope, so close. All right, is this gonna come out? No, of course not. I can't do cool things on the live stream. There we go. So now I've got the excess cut off. There we go. Now I'm going to remove these off the model. I'm going to go with the one I did first because it's cool. It's cooler. So you don't want to do these when they're nice and... oh, Iliac Martinez, same way we do. Where did you get that wheel? I got it from JBC and Company. Now, I have seen them at other places. It's called a wheel saw. So it is... jbcandcompany.com, and I think if you type wheel saw in there, you'll find it. Actually, I'll try to pull it up in a minute. So that came off pretty easily, but now you can see there's all this flashing on here, right? Like that. So we're gonna work on that in a second. So let's get this one off. And I usually work from the posterior, and I just try to get my little corner of my knife up underneath. Oopsie, up underneath. Again, I don't want to damage, I don't want to force it, because then, you don't want to stretch the material to where it will cause some heat and then cause, distortion. So I'm just kind of going to pop that off. There we go. Dust, so far the dust hasn't been so bad. Right now, let me see, and I'll try to put a link to this wheel saw in, or even if I find it on Amazon, I'll put it in my Amazon cart. So we'll try that. Now, the next step. Oh, I found it. So let me present, share the screen, this, share, add to stage. There's Beckett. Surprise, Beckett. Here's the wheel saw. It is $20, and it lasts forever, really. And so that's where I get it. So I'll copy, and we'll paste it in here so y'all all can get it. Okay, Beckett, you're... So I'm going to remove the wheel saw, and this is a Hatho bristle brush. No. Boy, I've just went blank on this. Hatho, it's 3M Scotch Brite. Here we go. So if y'all want to take a screenshot of that. Hatho Mini Trimming Wheel, Scotch Brite Brown, 220 grit coarse. 12 pieces, so I'll get a bag of these. I think I got this from Benco because JBC doesn't have the coarse ones, if I'm not mistaken. They do have these black ones. So these are finer. These is what we're going to end with. But to really get this, Beckett put a smiley face on there. So we'll take this flashing right here, right? This will remove it pretty quick. Now you got to be careful. This will remove plastic really quick. So I'm just lightly going to go around this whole thing. So the wheel saw will, it'll melt this plastic a bit, and that's kind of what I'm taking off here. Especially this tongue side. What I like to do is just run my finger. You'll be surprised how much your finger will pick up that your eyes won't. So I'm just rubbing my thumb as I'm going along and not drop it on the floor. All right, next one. So as you can see, you can make pretty quick work of this. I guess one of the advantages of using scissors with this is it will be nice and clean with one cut. You don't have to keep going through different burrs and stuff. I'm just gonna keep feeling with my finger all the way around. And so we're going to go to the fine course, or the fine, not fine, which is the black ones. Oh, there's a maroon one, which is in between the two. But I've found I can get a pretty good job with this. So you can't do much shaping with this. This isn't as coarse as the brown ones, but you can see it does help shine it up a bit. But you can see scuff marks. From the brown one that this should remove. It doesn't necessarily polish it. What I'll do is I'll run this over the polish and we'll real quick, and mainly just to get like all this scuffing that well, you can't really see it, but all right, I think that's done. We will, let me hush on this real quick. And what I'm doing is just the acrylic polish. I'm using my you can't see anything, but I'm just kind of so let me blow the dust off of all this. Let me shut that fan down because okay, we got these. And oh, I see your comment, Perry. Hold on. And Perry, have you ever used that twin block separator on stone models? I've only been using it on twin blocks, just wondering. No, the twin block separator, I use this. No, that's the wrong. This stuff on stone, which is really, really good. It is, while you're on the JBC website, JBC's best ever separator 704. It's a silicone base. You see how it separates? You got to keep it shaken. But that's what I use for my stone models, and that I've never had a problem with it ever. So I've never used the green stuff, the twin blocks, the acrylic to acrylic separator. I've never used it on plaster models before. I don't know how it would do. I just assume it wouldn't work. It's just different chemicals. Okay. So these are the final products. You see, it turned out pretty decent. They snap on. I got some of the wheel on there. Of course, I'd put these in the ultrasonic and clean them up real good. But as you can see, I don't know if this is the same patient. I didn't look. Again, I just had a bag full of these. But that's it. That is the end product for Essix, start to finish. Just to recap, we started with a scan. We sent it to the base. Hey, Beckett, how you doing? I keep doing that too. We sent it to, okay, you're not on there anymore.
You liar.
Okay. So we sent it to, we based it with Easyrx, and we sent it to the printer. How's the printer doing over there? I see it over here. It's printing right now. Oh, it hadn't even started yet. Sometimes it takes a while to fill up if it needs to refill. So it's over there printing. We've run it through the wash over there, and you see the wash is actually raised up over there, and it's ready for me to put it in the dryer, ready for me to put it in the cure after it dries. So that is ready to go over there. And then once it's cured, you take it here, you prep it. I like to put this on there if it's a type of thermoform that you have to peel the foil off. And it usually tells you in instructions that you have to peel it off before you suck down or after. But we would have peeled this off on these at this point right now. So right before we would have high shine. Actually, usually you probably don't have to high shine. You peel off the top and the intaglio surface. Like there's 2 layers on there, and it's perfectly clean. Like almost, you don't want to put it back on the model. It's so clean. And then we did the Biostar, did the suck down, and then we cut it using those 3 tools here, and then we ended up with something like that. So that's it. Hope that helps someone out there that's maybe thinking of doing this. If you're doing it in-house, maybe this will help you do that extra step you got to do now if you want to do digital. But the digital does a really great job of making a horseshoe. Otherwise, you'd have to trim down a plaster model into this shape or embed it in the pellets, and then that's a whole nother mess you got to deal with for that. So with that being said, I guess that's it. Looks like this might have been a little too late for some of you guys. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this. Somebody out there that's had some questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll try to answer them. And I'll see y'all next Sunday, hopefully a little earlier. And maybe I don't depend on the Cowboys game. Maybe I just go at 5 or 6. That seems to be the sweet spot for the live stream. I'll just do 5 or 6, and maybe the Cowboys will start winning if I don't watch them. So that's how we're going to be. All right, until then, I do have my cup back. Yes, we didn't hear Pete. He's sleeping right now, roosting. But until then, where's my thing? Here it is, my fancy outro. Until next time, I'll see y'all next week. Happy bending.